Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to There Is Always More. This is your host, Nicole Segovia. And once again, thank you so much for being here with me today. Today's episode is number 18. It's going to be about finishing strong. I can relate to this in many ways right now, especially because I am at the end of my spring semester. So that comes with finals, extra studying, making sure, my grades are where I want them. And if they're not where I want them, making sure that I'm doing everything that I can to get them where I would like them to be. As well as I feel like I'm well adjusted into moving into my new apartment now. And everything is going great, but there's, moments where I do feel unmotivated and tired and burnt out, and I've done some research and found some good ways to get myself out of it, and I would love to share that with you guys. So, becoming unmotivated, tired, and wanting to give up is nothing that we should be ashamed of. If anything, it's just something that we should find ways to get back on our feet, and that should be like the ultimate goal of that sort of, down feeling we get. So I found this website called Lifehack. I will put the link, in the bio of the podcast if you guys wanted to check it out. So this information has all been retrieved from that website. So there was a few different ways explained on the website that you can finish strong. The first one was writing down your goals. But not just writing down your goals. The website had this thing called SMART. So your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. I've never looked at goals that way, so that was a really interesting way to put it. It really puts the goals that I have in perspective right now. Like, a lot of them are in that SMART category, but some of them aren't, so I'm going to have to reevaluate that, which is not a bad thing, but I'm just glad that I found that, so you guys can use that too. So make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Another goal that they talked about was breaking down your goals into small bites. I know I've mentioned that on my podcast as well, and trust me when I say it works. When you look at the big picture and you have one slight failure, it makes it, you take it like a lot harder than if you just looked at the small bites to take to get to your big goal. Then it's more motivating, and it also helps you maintain momentum, because when you get to your small bites and you achieve that, then the big goal just becomes like that much more achievable, if that makes sense. Now, building momentum is also something else that is not really taught, and you have to make sure that you are establishing a routine, you are avoiding your negative self-talk, you keep track of the new habits that you have that are good for you so you can continue to do them. And don't be afraid to redo your routine as time goes on. Like, if you feel like you're getting burnt out on the routine that you have now, sit down, look at it, and reevaluate it. Like, maybe you need to change some things. Maybe your day is busier at a certain time now, and you need to, move something to another time period. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of, doing it. Another thing was finding a mentor and an accountability partner. Now, I have a few things to say about this. I feel like a mentor is definitely great, especially if you're like, wanting to be a teacher or a nurse or something where you're going to be working with a lot of other people. I feel like having someone to look up to and ask questions and pick their brain is always something that's super, useful. I personally have a mentor. I'm in school for kinesiology, hopefully to become a physical education teacher in high school, and having a mentor has made it so much easier as far as, questions about the CBEST or questions about classes or, hey, like, what's your job actually like? What if they don't like it? What if you don't know about the cons yet because you haven't talked to somebody about it? So mentors are great, but my issue comes in with the accountability partner. I think accountability partners are great, but that's only if you understand that you have to be your own accountability partner first. I have a hard time when people come to me and they're like, oh, like, it's a lot easier when you have a partner, which it is. Like, it's a lot easier if you tell someone else, like, hey, let's go to the gym at this time. Like, you don't want to be the one to back out. And a lot of times, like, if you have a partner and they say, like, oh, I can't go, then you, a lot of the times, don't go, right? Because, well, if they're not going to go, then I can skip a day too. So you have to be your own accountability partner first, so that then after you're done pushing yourself and motivating yourself, you can then help push your partner, right? But they have to do the same thing with themselves too. And my issue with not being your own accountability partner first comes in because, say I come to you and I say, hey, you know what? I want to lose 5 pounds, by the end of this month or whatever the case may be. But I need you to hold me accountable. Okay. First of all, think about how that sounds. Like, I need somebody else to hold me accountable for the things that I want to change in my life. Okay. Now, I know sometimes we say this and we like take it lightly, like, oh, I need you to hold me accountable, whatever. But when you really listen to yourself say that, it's almost like, I don't believe in myself enough to do these things, so I need somebody else to make me do them. Okay, that's negative self-talk. So you have to switch that and be like, here's what I want. I need your help and, helping me with the steps on how to get there, and just like a little bit of motivation, but I'm going to make sure that I am my own accountability partner. Because what ends up happening is, say you and I are accountability partners and you're having a rough day and I'm just texting you like, hey, checking in on you, making sure, how was your workout this morning? Or did you eat a healthy breakfast? And what if you're having a bad day and you didn't do any of those things? I'm going to become a bother to you. But I'm doing my job. I'm being your accountability partner, right? So that's why I think if everybody was able to be their own accountability partner first and just have partners of motivation, then this world would be amazing, because then you can't get mad at someone else for being on you about something that you asked them to be on you for in the first place, right? It's a lot to put on somebody as well when you tell someone like, hey, I need you to hold me accountable. Not only do they have their own life and, they have their own goals and their own things that they want to achieve, and now they have to be in charge of you and hope that you follow through. And how tiring is that if you didn't follow through and they're constantly texting you or asking you to do the things that you asked them to ask you to do, and then you just don't do them. So I think it's important to be your own partner first, and everything else comes second. I also wanted to read, again, I'm reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you haven't started reading this book, you should go out and buy it right now. Okay, I'm going to read a part where it talks about your goals and how to change your habits, and this part just fits this episode perfectly. So if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Focusing on the overall system rather than a single goal is one of the core themes of this book. It is also one of the deeper meanings behind the word atomic. By now, you've probably realized that an atomic habit refers to a tiny change, a marginal gain, a 1% improvement. But atomic habits are not just any old habits, however small. They are little habits that are part of a larger system, just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules. Atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Habits are like the atoms of our lives. Each one is a fundamental unit that contributes to your overall improvement. At first, these tiny routines seem insignificant, but soon they build on each other and fuel bigger wins that multiply to a degree that far outweighs the cost of their initial investment. They are both small and mighty. This is the meaning of the phrase atomic habits, a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. Okay, end quote. That is exactly what I was talking about when I talk about breaking down your goals and writing down your goals in the smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound manner. And it's not that you are a failure. It's that the things that you're doing to reach them are unachievable because you're looking at the big picture instead of taking small bites. Okay? So I know if you're in college, you're almost done. Keep pushing through. If you're just having a rough Monday morning, I hope this puts a little spark into you and helps you get through your morning. I really appreciate you guys listening in on every single Monday. And let's just remember to finish strong and never forget that there's always more.